Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my first podcast. Now, I'm going to keep it kind of short because I woke up with an allergy attack this morning, so I'm sorry about that. And secondly, I just want to listen to this and make sure I do it right because I don't think this is really a podcast because I'm not going to have any guests and that. This is just me talking, and I need to talk more, especially during the playoffs. I'm fully invested in these playoffs, even outside of the Dallas Cowboys. This year is just like totally is wide open. It's wide open as far as what's going to happen in this next month. So I want to be here. I want to be able to talk through things without having to, cram things into a 7-8 minute video or anything like that. And especially, what's going on with our offense and Dak and things like that. That needs to be talked through. It can't be just like, oh, he's horrible, he's great, let's move on or whatnot. So I'm really excited to be able to do this for the next month until the Super Bowl happens, and hopefully our team will be there. Now, before I want to start anything, because I was gonna get into predictions, but let me get into predictions in a second. But first, why are we playing on Saturday night? Why are we playing on Saturday night? That threw me for a loop because I remember right after the game on Sunday, my son's godfather, he's my frat brother, he's a diehard Cowboy fan to the T, and he asked me, he said, I wonder when we'll play next week. I said, oh, we playing on Sunday. We got the primetime spot. We the Cowboys. I said it all cocky like too. We the Cowboys. And they give that spot to the world champion Philadelphia Eagles. And we got to rush through the week. Because, I was planning on, doing some podcasts, talking through stuff this week. Saturday, chill out, watch some other teams play, see who gets the other games so we'll know exactly who we play if we win. You know the scenario. And then on Sunday, get up, go to church with my family, with my Dallas Cowboy jersey on, and come home and get ready to watch some Cowboy football. That just sounds like perfection to me. But now I gotta get up, take my son to soccer practice, and then come home and that's football. I mean, oh man. But we'll deal with it. Well, because I know you feel it like I feel it, because I was like Saturday. And then when I saw, because I saw it when during Sunday Night Football last week, and they said next week we have Philadelphia at Chicago, and I'm like, are they gonna have 2 NFC games on Sunday? It was a little desperate thing. Like we can't play on Saturday. We're the Cowboys. We can't play on Saturday. All right, well that threw me for a loop, and it did ruin my weekend. About those Eagles, before I get into all my prediction and all that, I told you to keep an eye on them. I told you that they were not as bad as they had been playing, that they could turn it on at any time, and they did. I told you how important that game was versus Philadelphia. And if you are an objective Cowboy fan, you know that game still could have went either way. If that fumble was called at the beginning, it could have went either way. It could have sent a title away. It's a game of runs and momentum. So it could we if we didn't win that, this is how close it was. If we didn't win that football game, we could be headed into Soldier Field this week instead of the Philadelphia Eagles. and that's one situation where I don't like our chances. If we had to go to Chicago against that defense and try to pass with Mac just destroying anybody who's in front of him like he does every week, that could have been us easy. If you think about it, if you just look back at what happened over this last month, and a little over a month, we're very fortunate to have that spot we have. So there's no sense of cockiness, of, oh, we got this and all that kind of stuff. And I'll tell you why I feel confident. I feel very confident in our football team and all that. But I am extremely, not want to say blessed, but I understand how fortunate we are to have that spot. And in these NFC playoffs, I'll say NFC and AFC playoffs, it's wide open. It is wide open. So that will transition me on to my playoff predictions. And I want you to put your playoff predictions below. This is it's just to mark it, because I'm marking mine here. At the beginning of the season, I said that the Dallas Cowboys would be meeting the Kansas City Chiefs for the Super Bowl. That was my thing. That was what I said, and I think I also validated the statement saying that, oh, but if it's the Cowboys wouldn't now, to be the Rams and the Chiefs. But it's the Cowboys and the Chiefs were my preseason pick, and I have the video there to prove it. And now my postseason, right after the regular season, as the playoff picture is clear and we know exactly who is in what seed and who plays who. I'm gonna tell you right now my Shango playoff predictions, and this year, just write your predictions below, because can't nobody tell you your predictions are stupid, because this year you look on both sides, AFC, NFC, and almost any matchup is valid. Chargers versus Rams is valid. Patriots versus Eagles, a rematch, is valid. The Chiefs versus the Saints in a shootout, is valid. The Ravens versus the Bears in a defensive dragging. Wow, that would be a rough game, but that's valid. So just about every kind of combination you will come up with is valid. So I'm gonna throw out mine because I got some wild ones here. I tried to. Well, no, I don't. I think I cleared it up. But this first weekend, wild card weekend, I'm taking the Colts. The Colts over the Texans. I don't know why. The Texans have mad talent on the defensive side of football, but one of my favorite players in football in the NFL football league is Mr. Andrew Luck. I love me some Andrew Luck. So Colts over the Texans. Then in the other game in the AFC, I have my other boy, Phillip Rivers. I love me some Phillip Rivers. He's gonna be mad. He's gonna be cold in Baltimore, and he's gonna be mad because of what the Ravens did to the Chargers last time. So I'm looking for two of my favorite quarterbacks in the league, Andrew Luck and Mr. Mad Guy, Phillip Rivers. I'm going to win this week in the AFC. And then on the NFC, of course, I got the Cowboys over the Seahawks. And I really do think that. I really do think that the Cowboys should win this game versus Seattle. But you got wild cards over there in Seattle with how good that defense is, and on top of that, they're veterans. They know how to win, and the main person that knows how to win over there is Russell Wilson. So it's just a good chance to lose as well, just because Seattle made a play, or Seattle got rolling at the wrong time, basically, or things of that sort. So I'm not saying, oh, we got this, well, Seattle is no good. No. I just feel like if we come in there and we establish our football game with running the football, keeping the defense on the bench, and then let the defense take care of their running game and Russell Wilson in short spurts. Don't keep the defense out there too long at all. That's especially against Seattle. Defense stays out in the field, we lose every time. So Cowboys over Seahawks. I'll go more into that a little bit later. And Eagles over the Bears. The Eagles, they're one of the few teams I think that can actually go into Soldier Field and beat the Bears. The weather's not going to bother them. Being in a hostile environment is not going to bother them. They're a-holes. And their schemes are rather similar. I think they came from similar coaching trees. So Philadelphia can go, and I will repeat, thank goodness it's them and not us. Thank goodness we're sitting at home and we're hosting another team that's dangerous in their own building, Seattle. So we get Seattle in our building, which is pretty big. So I got the Eagles over the Bears. That Nick Foles, boy, I tell you. All right, in the next week, that would have the Chiefs going up against the Colts. That's why I said I was going to shake it up. I was trying to put the Colts there. Because this is why the Colts, I'm not a believer in Andy Reid's anything. I don't believe in Andy Reid. So the Colts are one of the most balanced teams in the league right now. They can run on you. They run well. And then Andrew Luck is Andrew Luck. So I see them beating the Chiefs. I really think they can go in there and beat the Chiefs. But I'm picking the Chiefs over the Colts. And then another hammer. And I'm sticking with this hammer because of my boy Phillip Rivers. He's going to go in there and smack Brady upside the head, man. I'm telling you in Foxborough. I'm telling you. That Charger team is strong. And they're going to go back to playing that football they were playing right before, the end of the season when they started getting shaky a little bit. I'm pretty sure of it. Then we have the Eagles and the Saints. Again, the NFC is wide open. And the stranglehold that the Saints and the Rams had over the NFC is pretty much gone now. When we beat the Saints, it knocked them down a whole lot of notches. It most certainly did. And right now, the Saints, they barely beat a Pittsburgh team that was not playing well at all at home. So I'm not the big, the Saints are unbeatable at home. Seattle, I can get with you there. But not this Saints team. I think they can be beaten inside that building. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles, again, better them than us. We've already beaten them once. I don't want to go back in that building. No. But the Philadelphia Eagles, the way they're playing, the team that I saw out here playing the Los Angeles Rams, they'll go down there in New Orleans and they'll beat the Saints and go to the NFC Championship game. Who would they face? It'll be, I think, with math, the only teams we got left, we got the Rams and we got the Cowboys. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if those Eagles can come out here and beat the Rams up like they did, we better. You know what I'm saying? We better come in here and do the same things to the Rams. The Rams, they are just not the same team once they lost Cooper Kupp. And then also, secondly, Goff, he's not being that all-world Goff that we thought he was earlier on in the season. So the Rams are very susceptible. So my prediction, the Chargers versus the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, and the Cowboys versus the Eagles in Dallas for the NFC Championship game. It will blow up the NFL. Some of us will not make it. I might not make it. I don't know. That'd be so much pressure. It's ridiculous. Just think about that for a second. The Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles in Dallas for the NFC Championship game. Oh, my goodness. That just, ooh. Yeah, some of us will not make it. But I do pick the Chargers. Here's where I go away from where I did at the beginning of the season. Because I don't believe in Andy Reid. He runs a gimmick offense, and sooner or later, when you run a gimmick offense, it falls apart in front of a strong defense. And that's what San Diego. That's what Los Angeles has. And then us, we can beat them. We can beat them. And I fully expect if we see that Philadelphia Eagle team in the NFC Championship game in our building, we can beat them. Now, I'm going to wrap this up in just a second. And I want to say that I really, honestly do, in these playoffs, I really like our chances. I really, really, really like our chances. I like how complete of a football team we've become. I like the commitment to 21, and we must continue to commit to 21 all game. I love what 4 is doing. I'm not going to get into that, but 4 is he's playing the game like I would want him to play. Let's just leave it like that. That's what 4 is doing. 19 has shown me all I needed to see. And he's shown the league. And I told you about 19. I said that when we got 19, that it wasn't going to automatically, just fix our offense. The teams wasn't going to automatically just give a whole bunch of attention to Amari Cooper just because he's Amari Cooper or whatever. We had to hurt them with Amari Cooper. We had to do damage to them with Amari Cooper. And we did do damage. We did a lot of damage with Amari Cooper. So now it's basically 10 versus 9. Because you got a corner and safety help on Amari Cooper, or corner and some help with Amari Cooper because they have to. So then we can scheme against the other 9 with our offensive line and with Ezekiel Elliott. I really, really like our chances. The offensive line, it's going to be probably the healthiest maybe that we've been in a while. Zach's back. Tyron took the week off. On the defensive side of the ball, they just don't need to be out there in the field. They're not a deep. When people talk about the Dallas Cowboys, that defense is great. That defense is awesome. Our defense is awesome. But don't get it messed up. We're not one of those all-time great defenses. This is not the Ravens that can just sit out there all day and just pummel you. You remember them? We don't have a defense like that. We have a defense that when they go out and they're fresh and they're active and they're fast, they can do damage. But if a team like the 2 teams that I have us playing, the Eagles, the Rams and the Seahawks, they can run the ball. And they can make our defense stay out there. So it's going to be important for us to do that to them, to keep their defenses out there. The Rams and the if we beat the Seahawks, but the Seahawks and the Rams if we beat the Seahawks. It's imperative to the entire dynamic of the game that we continue to drain the clock and keep their defense out there in the field and not ours. Because you like that shot of DeMarcus Lawrence on the bench, sweating, ready to go back in. I love that. I don't like him on the bench sweating because, man, we were out there for 8 minutes. We don't want that. I really do like our chances because of the way we built, how we play. And that's the thing. There's a lot of gimmicky football teams, in my opinion. The Saints have always been kind of gimmicky. The Chiefs are gimmicky, but the Chargers, the Cowboys, the Bears. There's some teams out there that are really like well-rounded football teams, and I'm glad that we're going in the playoffs with one of them. So I really like our chances now. With me liking our chances so much, there's also a good chance for the following. There's a good chance Garrett and Linehan abandons the run. There's a good chance of that. That's like the major thing that might happen. And what I just said, if we do abandon the run, it throws the entire formula out of whack. Can't do that. But I tell you what, that is just a side note. Out of all the things I'm going to list, or the things that could happen for us, that is like my favorite. If we're going to lose, let's do that so we can get one of the boys up out of here. Probably Linehan. But that is the number one thing I'm seeing. That some game management in issues with play calling, Garrett Linehan abandoning the run and forgetting that Zeke is our running back. Things like that. Things that we've seen before that could happen again. What else could happen? Our kicker could miss one from a game winner from the 27. That's a distinct possibility. And we'd be one and done because of a kicker. The lack of a real running back, if they get a good shot in on Zeke and he has to sit out for just a minute or go in a tent or something like that, and we have a couple of series or whatever, or we just need to spell Zeke and end up stalling out on the drive that we needed to score on. But us not having a backup quarterback is really annoying to me. I love Rod Smith. I want Rod Smith to stay on the team. But I also want us to get a real running back. A real dangerous running back. To have a 1-2 combination sort of like the Saints got. Because even if one goes down for the entire game, you still got another one that can place your will on the head of the other football team. So lack of having a running back could really rear its ugly head right now. So, or at least somewhere in this playoffs, especially with the workload that Ezekiel Elliott is going to get. And then the last thing that could do us in is constant bad field position because we have no kick returner. We use a defensive back as a backup running back and as a kick returner. So I don't know, when was the last time we had a return? Hopefully Tavon Austin is going to be able to do that now. But just think, when was the last time? It was just like mainly we just catch the ball, especially Cole Beasley back there. Cole, great catch last week. But they just catch the ball and maybe fair catch it and maybe go, if not fair catch it, maybe they'll go up 5 yards at best. But consistent bad field position from no kick, from no returning game whatsoever. So just as strong of a chance that we have for a good run here, which we do have a strong chance for a good run here, we also have a strong chance for one of those things happening. Really do. All right, guys. Wow, this was fun. This was fun. My allergy kind of took over halfway through the show, so I'm gonna bail right now. But hit me up below in the comments, and I will talk back. And also hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram is @ShangoLive. My Twitter is @ShangoLive. So just hit me up, and we'll talk football. All right, guys. This was fun. Let's do more. I'll let you. Bye.